Welcome to UA Live. I'm Annie Reinke.
And I'm Peter Zelnick. Coming up on the show, we look at open lunch, boys lacrosse, and student reaction to parking this quarter.
Freshman Shadowing Day is April 25th. All freshmen are expected to shadow someone in an area of career interest for a full day. The Upper Arlington High School groundbreaking ceremony was on April 7th. This event was moved inside to the auditorium because of weather. The elementary school groundbreaking ceremonies are on May 19th. For more information about this ceremony, go to the City of UA website.
The second annual Upper Arlington High School Idea Day was March 22nd. The event encourages students and staff to branch out of their comfort zone. Ellie Hartranft takes a closer look.
On March 22, 2019, Upper Arlington High School put on their second annual Idea Day. The event consisted of morning and afternoon sessions that students previously signed up for. From speakers like Cameron Mitchell and Wendy of Wendy Gymnastics, the various speakers and workshops inspired students from all different areas of interest. There even was a musical performance by Beth McCarty, who was a contestant on The Voice in the UK. Hallie Underwood, a junior who was a co-chair of the Idea Day team, explains how she thought the day went.
So I think Idea Day went really well. We've been planning the event for a year, and we spent countless hours going through the process. So seeing it all come together was really rewarding. Even though we were super tired at the end of it, it was super fun to feel that feeling of accomplishment after building such a community and working so hard for that long.
Sophomore Sophia Imatola shares her Idea Day experience.
I did enjoy myself at Idea Day. I think that it's really important to pick the sessions that you actually are interested in and not just the ones that your friends want to go to, but things that you actually are interested in. And so I did that, and I really enjoyed myself.
Even though the Idea Day team spent countless of hours to make sure every student had a session that they would find interesting, some students still decided to take a sick day.
It looked really fun in the pictures and videos, but my mom called me out and I didn't get what I wanted, so that's the end.
Junior Alex Dunn expresses his feelings about his Idea Day experience as well.
I didn't really get the classes I want. I just went to random classes. I ended up enjoying them, but if I had the chance to not go, I probably wouldn't go, unless I got the classes I wanted.
Even though there were mixed feelings about the day, overall, students had the opportunity to be inspired and exposed to new ideas and experiences.
A student in the school wore rollerblades, okay? We get half the time, at least, that it takes to go from classroom to classroom, thus cutting the school day and saving energy by reducing the amount of time we have to keep the school running.
This has been Ellie Hartranft reporting for the WARL.
People from different districts attend the event to try and get inspiration to create their own Idea Day at their school.
Upper Arlington High School coffee shop, UA Rise, celebrated their 10-year anniversary April 11th. They sold all drinks for $2.09 for representing the year they opened.
Also, another fun lunch option is the open courtyard for all students as a spot to eat. Peter Zelnick takes a closer look at open lunch.
Upper Arlington High School has an open lunch period for students to go out to restaurants within the district, but this raises concerns to the teachers and the staff. This year, freshmen are not allowed to do open lunch without parent supervision. I asked Mr. Theato about the current situation.
Over the summer, the board approved to close lunch for incoming freshmen, the class of 2022, and then we're phasing it in over 4 years. I think it's been going really well. We have administrators on lunch duty every period, and we engage with the students. Students are spread out in all different areas: the auditorium, lobby, the mezzanine. They're eating on the benches in the high tops in the hallway, in the cafeteria. There's plenty of open seating, and overall I think it's going about as well as it could have.
If you're a freshman and want to do open lunch, have a parent or guardian come to UAHS and use the sign-out sheet. Sophomores, juniors, and seniors can use open lunch on their own. And remember to come back to UAHS when your lunch or your food pickup is done. As a little bit of substitute for open lunch, there are picnic tables and blankets for lunch around the courtyard. There are also ways for people to call in delivery from other food places such as Donato's and Jimmy John's. And also, The school offers loads of nutritional options at lunchtime. This has been Pierre Zelnick signing off from WARL.
With the weather warming up, eating outside is a great option for those who are wanting a change in scenery, even if they don't have an open lunch.
Now let's lob it on over to sports with Rebecca Murray and Tad Fountain.
Welcome to sports.
On April 10th, the softball Bears beat Central Crossing for the first time since 2015. The game went into extra innings, ending with a score of 17-11. The girls won again at Beekman Park on April 15th against Westland 28-4, making their record 10-4. Check out their Twitter at UABearsSB for game updates and their full season schedule.
Baseball also started their season off strong with a record of 6-4 in a recent win against Westland on April 15th, with the final score being 14-0, scoring 9 points in the third inning.
The Crew Bears began their spring season with their first regatta in Cincinnati on Saturday, April 13th. Two girls varsity boats made it to finals where they placed 7th and 5th. Two girls novice boats also made it to finals, placing 4th and 2nd place. Teams participating in this race included New Trier, Chicago Rowing, and Cincinnati Juniors.
UA Girls Lacrosse took a road trip to Chicago on April 6th. They tied their first game 8-8 against New Trier and won their second game 13-8 against Glenbrook. The girls take on New Albany at Tremont on Saturday, April 20th. The teams have not played each other in regular season since last year's state finals game where Upper Arlington won 11-5.
The boys lacrosse season looks a little different this year with all home games at Wellington School instead of the Marv. Max Buckley reports on changes to their season.
During March of 2019, the boys lacrosse team began its season looking to carry on the tradition of being one of the most dominant programs in the state. With the season beginning, it will be Coach Olson's second year as head coach of the team, as he carries on the legacy of old head coach Ted Wolford, who was one of the most decorated lacrosse coaches in state history. Juniors Cooper Brait and Will Lawless share what the expectations are for the team this year.
The goals for this year is going to be the same for always. It's to definitely win the Midwest, and then I think our #1 goal is to win states for sure.
The expectations for this year, I'd say about the same thing as Coop. Obviously, win a Midwest championship, which is the weekend before states start, and then hopefully that'll propel us into the state tournament where we can win states as well.
With the construction of the new school underway, the team has to play and practice at Wellington, which has been something the players have had to adjust to. Will Lawless shares what is different at Wellington compared to the Marv Moorhead Memorial Stadium.
So there's a couple differences between Wellington and the Marv. I'd say the first one is the lights don't have guards on them, so when you're making those long passes from sideline to sideline, sometimes you'll get blinded a bit, which makes it a little bit harder to catch. Also, for some reason, there's a ton of the rubber pellets on the turf, which is just kind of weird to play with. I think it's better for soccer for Wellington, and it helps them out for that, but it's a little something to get used to. And then I'd say the last one is not having a locker room. So we have to get ready at Hastings, and then we have a police escort to Wellington, which is actually kind of cool. But just having that walk and all that's something to get used to, and not being able to go back to the locker room during halftime is a little weird too.
This has been Max Buckley reporting for the WARL.
The boys lacrosse team honored former UA lacrosse captain Kyle Vesper at their game against Marysville on April 10th. Kyle is one of 2 lacrosse alumni battling brain tumors. Both held numbers 31 and 32, creating the 31-32 family logo for the lacrosse team.
The Bears won against Marysville 18-0. They played Pickerington North on April 11th and won 17-5. The win brought the record up to 8-1. They will play Culver Prep, the #4 team in the state, at the Horseshoe Saturday, April 20th at 4 p.m.
Since part of the Marv Moorhead Memorial Stadium was torn down due to the construction of the new high school, all UAHS athletic teams must endure changes to the weight room. Alex Chris reports on how the weight room staff adapted to these changes.
The weight room at UAHS has undergone some major changes this spring. Half of the freshman gym was converted into a space fit for the lifting equipment. Mats were put down over the original hardwood floors, and a chain-link fence was installed to separate the 2 halves of the gym.
So we added the space with the basketball courts on it. Baseball and softball still have priority over there, but we get to do a little bit more plyometric stuff with kids, and we have a little bit more space to be able to warm people up, and it just makes the flow go a lot better and easier.
The turf is no longer available for athletes to use prior to lifting, but athletes are able to warm up in the other half of the gym or outdoor when weather permits for it. Although warm-up space has decreased, the size of the lifting room has increased in the new space.
We actually added 1.5 times the old space. It's that much bigger, and then going into the brand new building in 2.5 years, we will have 800 square feet on top of what we have now. So yeah, get ready for an awesome space.
While this new space has been great for the weight room, it has caused some issues for spring sports teams that use the freshman gym as a practice space.
As you can see, we only have about 1/4 of the gym, since half of the space is taken up by the weight room and the other half is taken up by baseball. So that's super inconvenient most of the days that we want to hit before our games, and then when we have practice, we have to take a bus. So basically, if you have a doctor's appointment or something, you're absolutely not making practice because it's either 15 minutes away, we're taking a bus. It's absolutely horrid, that's all.
The transition of the weight room from the MARV to the school has had some inconveniences, such as smaller offices for the lifting coaches and practice spaces for spring sports, but overall has been very beneficial.
Honestly, the space has given us so much more ability to work with more teams at the same time. It's been able to get kids back home earlier so you guys can do your homework and stuff like that and have a life. But yeah, it's made it a lot more just fluid for us.
This has been Alex Chris reporting for the WARL.
While many spring sports have to adapt to new practice and home game locations, the change in the weight room location is the only part of UAHS construction that is affecting our crew, volleyball, and tennis Bears.
Boys tennis won their match at Olentangy Liberty 5-0. They will play next at home against St. Charles on April 17th. Their season record so far is 7-4.
Next week, we'll take a deeper look into the upcoming seasons of more of our spring sports. Now to community news with Jen and Ava.
Hi, I'm Jen Gomez.
And I'm Ava Toll. The Upper Arlington Civic Association hosted its annual Easter egg candy egg hunt on Saturday, April 13th for children ages 9 and under.
In a split vote of 5-2 on Monday, April 8th, City Council made the one-year ban on short-term rentals permanent. Short-term rentals are rentals that are lived in for less than 30 days.
The city's reasoning for the ban is to keep UA safe as well as ensuring quiet residential neighborhoods under the owner's watch.
The importance of safety in Upper Arlington doesn't come easily or go unrecognized. On April 4th, Upper Arlington was stated to be the 20th safest city in all of Ohio by Safeways.com. A big thanks to the men and women who work endlessly to keep our community safe.
Starting on April 15th until April 26th, the Fire Division is performing its annual test on fire hydrants. Hydrants will be flushed on weekdays between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. The city has reported that most residents will notice no difference in their water supply, but a few could experience water discoloration.
Residents are asked to refrain from doing laundry on the day hydrants are flushed in your area and are recommended to run the water until it is clear before using again. Check out the upperarlingtonoh.gov website for more information and to find out when your hydrants are scheduled to be flushed.
Upper Arlington's school store is a staple in the UA community. From spiritwear to school supplies, Ellie Hartranft gets a closer look at bare essentials.
In the busy hallways of Upper Arlington High School, students might miss their very own school store, Bare Essentials.
School store is, I think, pretty unique because we're here all day long.
This is Lynn Lopper. She has been working as the school store secretary for 11 years.
We're here for your convenience. We'll have school supplies that you need, and we sell a lot of poster board and pencils and film and required reading books. And also we have the community who comes in and supports our store all day, every day.
The school supplies offered at Bare Essentials are solely sold for the everyday student. Lopper shares more on how many students are unaware of this option.
I am often surprised at how many students say, oh my gosh, look, they have this or they have that. They've never been in here. Sometimes seniors will say that. But on the other hand, we have some students who are in here all the time. I want students to take advantage of the school store. That's what we're here for. It's here for you. It's so convenient. We keep our prices as reasonable as possible and try to have what you need and what you want to use. So that's what we want to see.
Not only do they sell needed school supplies, but they also sell many variations of UA apparel, like baby clothes, hats, to even golf balls.
Probably what we sell the most of in here, other than pens and pencils and paperback books, is t-shirts and sweatshirts by far. We sell a lot of merchandise in general. We have so much and we sell a lot, but t-shirts, black short sleeve t-shirts and black hooded sweatshirts are for sure #1 sellers.
With all the incoming sales, extra help was needed in many areas.
So happy that we have student volunteers. Starting last year and this year, we have some wonderful student volunteers. I have parent volunteers, which we've used for years. I use them less often now since we have the student helpers, and they are a great asset to the store. They're wonderful with customers. Customers love to see students working in the school store. It only makes sense. So we're really happy about that.
Even with all the extra student help, Lauper explains how she would love to see even more student involvement.
What I would really like is to have more students take advantage of what we have here in this store. And even if they're not buying, I love to get students' opinions. I'll often ask, looking through catalogs or showing them things online that I'm looking at, or just asking what they prefer. Your opinions are really important to our store, and the store does benefit our school and our whole community. So we want the students in here. I work really hard at having a presence on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So please follow the school store. Give us some feedback. We love it.
This has been Ellie Hartrampt reporting for the WARL.
The school store's new Upper Arlington Bears Pop Sockets have arrived. Check out this item and many more in the school store located near the attendance office at UAHS.
While our school store is lively, bright, and thriving, other stores seem to be left in the dark. Peter Zelnick reports.
4 years ago, the Macy's at Kingsville Shopping Center has closed down, and hopefully it's going to be changed. According to This Week News, the store opened up as the Lazarus department store chain in 1970 and became Macy's in 2005. Since the Kroger company bought the store around the same time it closed down, it still has not made any developments to this day. UA City Council President Kip Greenhill is taking action to see what the store is going to be like, and we are all curious to see what will happen in the future. I asked UAHS students if they think that it's time to upgrade the Macy's and what it should be like.
I don't know, maybe something fun, like laser tag or something.
I think that the shopping mall has a lot of heritage to UA, so I think that by it being there it's like a staple of UA, I feel like. But also it's been there for so long and it's abandoned and it's just sitting there for no reason, so also I do think it should be taken down.
I heard a while ago that they're gonna make it into a Kroger, but I don't know if they're gonna end up doing that because Giant Eagle's 400 feet away from it. But I don't know, maybe another big department store or something like that. I feel like that'd be the best thing to make out of it.
Well, I definitely think they should do something with it instead of just leaving an abandoned building there. It's a pretty good piece of land, and right now we're using it for nothing. I mean, there's student parking there. I don't know if they'd want to put a rec center or something just for the Upper Arlington community, but I definitely think they should, take it down and build something new rather than just leave it vacant.
And it's not just Macy's. There are also some other stores that have closed down, such as the Radio Shack or Sprint store, and more. But still, the Macy's at Kingsville has no use today, except that the parking lot is used for UAHS student parking during construction. This has been Peter Zelnick, signing off from WARL.
On April 6, 2019, Chris Kalaris, the Whitcliffe Elementary School principal, lost his battle to cancer at the age of 57. He was a loving husband, an outstanding educator, and an impressive musician.
He led with kindness, care, and love, and was open-hearted to all who sought his guidance. Now to lifestyle.
Hi, I'm Jessica Stelzer. Seniors, if you're interested in performing at graduations, auditions will be held April 18th at 3:15 in the auditorium. Bring a copy of what you are performing with your application. For more information, check Schoology. You can now sign up for Senior Celebration that will be held May 19th. This year's theme is Final Evacuation. RSVP by April 22nd for a fun-filled event with food, music, and games. The Golden Bear Center on Riverside Drive is going to be redone. According to Upper Arlington This Week News, Scott Patton, a partner that is working on this remodel, says that he plans to rebuild the Golden Bear Center into a multi-story building that would feature offices, retail businesses, and luxury condominiums. This center has been in Upper Arlington for over 50 years and has been in the process of planning and starting construction over the last 5 years. With construction happening all over Upper Arlington, a recent concern has been school safety. At the beginning of the 2019 school year, the high school implemented many new ways to promote safety, like closed lunch for incoming classes and having to swipe in when entering and exiting the building. The second annual town hall meeting will be held April 24th at 7 p.m. in the Jones Auditorium. Fire chiefs and police chiefs will be there to answer any questions and concerns the citizens of UA might have about safety. As our community is building and developing Upper Arlington, students at the high school have been building as well, but in a quite different area. Jen Gomez reports on the mission that students took to Mexico over their spring break.
The Mexico Mission Trip is an annual spring break trip through First Community Church for high schoolers, college students, and adults. This year, beginning on March 9th until March 17th, participants traveled to Tecate, Mexico to build houses for families living in poverty. During the mentally and physically challenging week, participants made meaningful relationships and had lots of fun. While many were relaxing on a beach, over 30 UAHS students spent their spring break this way: unplugged, sleeping in tents, and performing manual labor. A few students share what their favorite part about the trip is.
On this trip, you receive love that you didn't really know you were missing just because it's so big. And then you also give love that you didn't know you were capable of giving, which is really cool to learn about yourself, that you can do that and impact someone in that way.
My favorite part of the trip is making new relationships with people and really letting myself go and unplug from everything everywhere.
I like this trip because it really opens your eyes to a lot of bigger problems, and it makes you think about how some of your small problems at home are really small, and then it also makes you think a lot about how people do need help, and when you do help them, it makes them feel good and it really helps you too.
First Community Church works with Amore Ministries to make this trip possible. Amore Ministries has built over 19,000 homes. They provide a guarded campground for participants, an authentic Mexican breakfast and dinner, and select the families who receive homes. Families must be presented by a pastor, have one working parent, and have purchased the property to build on. First Community began working with Amore in 1996, and since then has built 158 homes. This year, the group built for 4 different families. Participants build with the family and get to create relationships with them as well. On the final day, groups hand the family the keys to their new home in a powerful and emotional ceremony. Sophomore Abigail Ali built for a family of 4, parents Myra and Miguel, and their 2 children, 4-year-old Scarlett and 8-month-old Damien. She shares about this ceremony.
On the 5th day, when you're really tired and probably sick and dirty and you want to take a shower and sleep in a real bed, and then you hand those keys to that family, and it reminds you why you're here, and it's really rewarding.
The trip fee is $1,300 and includes airfare, food, vehicle rental, building materials, hotel rooms, and other trip expenses. Financial support is offered through the Sponsor with Love program, and First Community offers other scholarships and financial support options. The pasta dinner is the largest fundraiser for the trip, where members of the community buy pasta, salad, breadsticks, and desserts to support the trip. Registration for next year's Mexico Mission Trip will be open from October until January. This has been Jen Gomez reporting for the WARL.
For more information about the trip, check out the First Community Church website. One thing City Council is considering is to ban nicotine in city parks. City Council will vote as soon as April 22nd to see if this ban is approved. 15 other cities in Ohio have made the same ban against nicotine in their parks. Whether you enjoy spending time at our parks or listening to music, the Breakaway Music Festival is coming back to Columbus on August 23rd and 24th. On April 11th, their lineup was released, and they announced that Black Bear, Young Thug, Louis the Child, and many more will be performing at the Maffrey Stadium for the concert. Now back to Peter and Annie at Maine.
Your books are on sale and running out fast. So far, they have sold 1,177 books.
They are only printing 1,250 books. That means there are only 73 books left.
On April 11th, the City of UA will be installing no parking 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. school days signs on West Side and Vaser Palace from Ridgeview to Northam Road.
Parking on Northwest Boulevard and Wellsford Road are busier and more crowded than ever with the construction of the new state-of-the-art high school. Will Reynolds takes a closer look.
Since March 11th, when construction started, parking has been crazier than ever. This year, the students are getting to school over an hour before school starts. I went and spoke with some students on Northwest to see what time they are waking up.
Hey! Hey! Good morning! Okay, so what time did you wake up this morning?
6:10. 6:05.
6.
So what time did you wake up this morning?
6:30.
6:30.
Around 6:30 every morning.
All the way down, all the way, keep going, keep going. Okay, so what time did you wake up this morning?
6:40. 6:20.
6:30.
Andrea Orzen and Mason Pullman are regulars on Northwest. This is what they have to say about the parking situation.
What are your thoughts on having to wake up, walking so far, and like this whole parking situation?
I definitely think that it's a little bit more complicated, as you guys can tell. Like, I have to walk all the way from down that way to get up to this light, and it can be a little bit more dangerous, definitely with the crossing the intersections and everything.
So how do you enjoy this? Like, what are your thoughts on parking on Northwest and having to get here so early?
It's a game for me, so I do enjoy it. I feel like I have to be the first one here, so I will continue to wake up earlier if people start coming earlier.
So do you think you did like well on the game today? Like, how'd it go?
No, these past 2 days I've been like not first spot.
I'm really disappointed in you. Okay, well, good luck to you in the rest of your season.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Over half the road is closed on Brandon and Mount Holyoke. Also, over half of the Brandon Senior Lot is closed. Another popular option to park on among students is Wellsford Road. Amy Ranke got the rundown on students that are parking on Wellsford.
How you doing? Good morning, Kiki. What's your opinion on parking?
It kind of sucks. I really agree that the teachers should park at Macy's.
Lucas, good morning. What time did you wake up this morning?
6:30.
6:30, that's really early. Yeah. What do you think about the parking situation?
It's horrible.
Want to elaborate?
You have to park super far away. It's not very fun to walk there, especially in rain, especially when it's cold.
Wake up. So how early did you wake up this morning?
I mean, I woke up at like 6:15 this morning.
6:15, wow. Did you have time? Where'd you get your Starbucks sandwich?
Yeah, my mom got that for me.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Many of the students are not happy with the parking situation. This is what some students have to say about it.
So what are your thoughts about having your brother making you get up early and parking on this road?
I don't like it. It sucks.
I don't like it.
It's annoying. It's annoying. Very annoying.
It's a rough parking situation, honestly.
Horrible. It's horrible. That's all I can say. Yeah, it's horrible.
I never parked on Northwest before, but it's the only place I can go now because there are 4 spots on Brandon.
Wow.
Bad. Very bad. Poopy.
Poopy?
Yeah.
Parking on Northwest can be a danger to students. Opening up doors on Northwest puts students at risk because the speed limit on that road is 35 miles per hour. One bright side to this madness is that it is bringing students closer together.
So right here you see Kiki Lily helping Kenneth actually with the parking spot.
I just need a good spot on Wellsford so I can get to work soon. And then Sam picks me up.
Just to hang out.
Kiki, that's so nice of you.
Wow. Thank you, Kiki.
Oh, yeah. What's another question? Wait, can we ask one more?
This crazy parking will continue to happen all throughout the rest of construction. Good luck to all the students that don't have a parking spot. This has been Will Reynolds reporting for the WARL.
Students are learning to adjust to the new changes that are happening all around the school. On April 11th, Upper Arlington Police informed UAHS students and staff that a large crane would be transported eastbound on Lane Avenue and Northwest Boulevard.
This affected morning rush hour from 7:45 to 9:30. That's it for this edition of UA Live. Thanks for tuning in.
I am lost in the clouds.